Welcome to In the Know with Lolo Knows, where we dive deep into the vibrant world of music and the artists behind it. I'm your host, Lolo, and today we have an exciting episode lined up for you. Join me as we chat with DJ and producer Cardio, a rising star from Cleveland who recently made headlines as the winner of the Discovery Project. With his incredible talent, he's earned a coveted spot to perform at that legendary Electric Forest Festival. We'll explore his musical journey, creative process, and what it means to share his latest single, A Prayer, with the world. So whether you're a music aficionado or simply curious about the industry, stick around as we uncover the story and the sounds of Cardio. Let's get started. Hi.
Hey Lolo,
How are you?
I'm great. If after that intro, I feel great. So thank you.
So I'm gonna go on record to say I don't think anybody, okay? I know it, hasn't played, didn't you know, that little bootleg rig mix you did of Erica Badu as much as
Yeah.
it's like become a staple. Like that's my track. Like you literally made that track for me. And then
Yeah.
I was down on your page further and you had the doo-wop by Lauryn Hill on there. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't get that in my inbox. Why are you holding out on me? I can't keep up with all y'all.
I'll have to send it to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
anything that you feel like I'm even digging like I feel like your Discovery Project mix it would have been amazing seeing you at Electric Forest. Was that the same set you did there or did you kind of do something completely different there?
I did something completely different. I think going into that, number one, it was an incredible experience, and this was last summer, and I still feel like I'm still new to the game. I mean,
Of
still
course.
we're still always building. So getting that kind of exposure. And I really thought that I was going to go in there with like a plan, like, okay, this is a big opportunity. I don't want to screw this up. I should have a set. And my first DJ set that I ever did live um, at an electronic show, I had the whole thing. I didn't pre-record it, but like
Hmm.
it was no like I knew where my mixing stuff was. I had everything marked out. And because I had never DJ'd on a Pioneer system before,
Hmm.
and it was my first time doing that, so I was prepared. I was like, I'm going in there with a plan. So I kind of had that same sort of mentality going in Electric Forest, but having a few years of DJing, I was like, okay, I should have a plan, but I should feel free to break from that plan depending on the vibe. And I'm glad that I did, because I ended up throwing in some songs I didn't plan, and then I felt more free. And I think that's what any DJ is really trying to do, is feel free behind the decks.
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm glad
Yeah.
you found that and you were willing to do that because to me, it's the only way. Everybody asks me if
Mhm.
I plan anything. No, you're going to find out as much as I am. We're
Yeah.
on this journey together. And
Hmm.
in that mix, you kept saying we're in that, I love to be in the journey. And you went real
Yeah.
progressive deep into this, into that mix and everything. And I was really vibing. You need to give me you need to get me some track lists of everything, including your stuff that was in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that
Yeah.
was
Cool.
fantastic. And I
I
love
will.
the fact that you used that's the have a sample that's at the begin or towards the beginning, probably within the first 15 minutes of that set that
Mhm.
I've used for what my track, What's That Feeling?
Yeah.
And it was like that sample that's in there.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I have that sample. I was like, wait a minute, he's using my sample.
Aren't we all? We're all
Aren't
just
we
using
all?
samples.
Aren't we
Yeah.
all? I mean, whatever moves us, whatever shakes our asses, I guess. I mean, we're just having fun, aren't we? Playing in the sand, in the
Trying
music
to. Yeah.
stand.
Yeah. You can get real serious about it, but it's important to keep the fun.
Okay, so you newly became a dad. You're married.
Mhm.
How does this all play into that aspect of your life now? Is it tough
Um,
juggling? Has your perspective changed a bit?
oh, my perspective has changed a lot.
Yes.
Uh,
How
you know,
so?
well, I don't know. It used to just be about me, and now it's not.
Hmm.
It's not just about me. And I feel like ever since my daughter's been was born, like I feel like my music has become deeper and had more meaning, and I've embraced the time it requires to make something great. And I I definitely I said this before in an interview I did with Scene magazine. I feel like I can experience life deeper having a child than I could before. And I only
Hmm.
have how I felt before, and how I'm not comparing myself to anybody. This is just my experience. Like
Hmm.
my feelings are deeper now.
Yeah.
Like I have a new it's like a grooves on the record. Those grooves are deeper. They take a little,
Yeah.
it's it so my capacity to experience life has only increased. And as an artist, I think your life experience is what ends up coming out in your music or
Yes.
whatever art you that art you do. So it's I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I love being a dad. It's really difficult. The juggling is definitely hard, especially training for a marathon and then doing music and working and being dad, cooking, cleaning the kitchen, which is literally I feel like most of life is if you're a cook, you're literally just cleaning the kitchen for half your
Yes.
life. It's
Yes.
every day.
Every day.
There's dishes in the
We
sink.
suffer for our art.
Yeah, it's just like all we do is clean the kitchen. That's all we do. So yeah, I wouldn't it's like it's not difficult because she's my daughter. So it's it's I think it's only difficult if you're distracted.
Mhm.
Because I life can throw a lot of distractions at you,
Mhm.
and it can kind of knock you off course. But
Yes.
if you have a clear vision, a clear focus, it's not it's not difficult. But I also recognize situations that I'm in. I mean, I work from home, so that's a huge plus. I get to see my daughter every
That's
morning.
fantastic.
I used to not. I used to work at a steel plant. I was a forklift mechanic working on
Wow.
40,000 pound forklifts um, down in Canton, Ohio.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that for about a year. I'm not going to go through my resume right now,
No,
but
duh.
I have some perspective on like okay, I'm very grateful for where I'm at now, and the opportunities I have to be there for my daughter and my wife. It's and do what I love. So it's difficult, but like it's like God wouldn't have put this all on me if didn't think I was ready.
Yeah.
So
You know, I've had quite a journey in this. Mine wasn't linear. I had to come back to the things that moved my soul,
mhm,
after, becoming an empty nester and
mhm.
then needing to find my way back into the things that I would wanted to explore that I just couldn't explore on my own with the responsibilities that I had, you know, during my 20s and 30s.
Yeah, I mean, being a mom is totally different from
Yeah.
being a dad. It's a
Yeah.
different experience.
Yeah. So I
Uh,
had to put a lot of stuff aside to be a very present, focused, you know, person in that direction. So I get it. I've just been very, um, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but the most rewarding at the same time.
yeah,
And now, even being in the music business, coming, having, you know, the courage to come into this space and to keep at it because I never stopped since
Hmm.
I've been a teenager. You know what I mean? It's just like I've always, in some aspect, been a part of this industry in one way or the other. You know, as a dancer, I've lived all the lives
Hmm.
in this industry as a promoter, as a, you know, as a DJ, as you know, I understand all of the pieces of this industry because I love it so much.
Hmm.
It's like studying music, you know, and learning music and being able to like build and bring builds together. It's just, it's a beautiful feeling.
Hmm. Yeah. Wanting to contribute to something that you've loved your whole life.
Yes. And, you know, and I think that when I had that decision to come back to it, made that decision to do it, nothing was holding me back anymore. So I
Hmm.
came back late in the game to explore this even further.
Oh, you're never late. You're always right on time. You know,
Yes.
you have all that.
So they
I mean,
told
think
me.
about,
So they
think,
told me.
I mean,
You
think
know,
about all the experiences that you have, and now you're just a strong, do you think that you would have been strong enough had you not gone through all that? Because this is difficult.
yeah.
So do you think you're more prepared for the lifestyle right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well then,
It's
yeah,
just
then it was worth it.
I'll never forget the first time you came to my set. And it was at Mulberry's, and that was that beautiful stage that was like built there. And it was on a really windy night. And there was like, there wasn't really, you know, it wasn't a great turnout at that space, you know what I mean? For whatever, you know, probably the weather and all multiple things. But with the people that were there, had such a wonderful time. But you said something to the effect when you commented the next day on social media. You said that was one of the best house sets that you've heard
Mhm.
in that post. And how could anybody ever want to miss this? And I was just so moved by that. And I was just like, you know, somebody, you know, it was like a sign for me,
Mhm.
you know, because I am a very spiritually deep person, but sometimes you just want signs that you're still heading in the right direction. And you were one of those signs for me in that moment.
Oh,
So,
well,
so I appreciate that.
yeah, you're welcome. Of course. Yeah, I mean, uh, I'm always happy when I get to see you perform.
Thank you. I
You do a
feel the
great
same
job.
way.
Your mixing is really good, and um, like your transitions are very professional. Like, and some people's aren't. Some I
I
and
know. I
I
know.
have pointy ears. I can hear everything. So
Good.
like
I'm so glad that
I'm
you and
like
me are here.
I can't if it transitions off,
I know.
I can't
That's how
dance.
I am.
Like if
I'm
I hear
so,
like I can handle a little like double kicking a little bit because you're doing your
yes,
thing. I can handle that.
yes,
But sometimes, man, it's like ugh, I can't.
exactly. And it's
But you
like,
never miss. So um
yeah.
and
I,
it's
I
the
feel
flow
the
is
mu
always
I
really
feel
good.
that because I feel in the music. I go cold. Everybody,
Yeah.
I go cold in my sets. So what you're feeling is how I'm feeling, even in
Right.
that moment. You know what I mean? It's not meant, this is real, raw, authentic energy here.
Yeah.
We're building this. And yeah, I vibe with the music. I know my music though, you know, and you know, it's nice, you know, to really
Hmm.
get to know a vibe and really be in sync with it energetically.
Hmm.
So I'm like a cook in the kitchen, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
cooking on them ducks, you know it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I ain't playing with y'all. We playing.
Hmm.
We're playing it good.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I like it, you know, that all came with just for me feeling the music.
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, and
feeling,
it goes.
connecting.
I don't, I don't want the wrong message to get out here. Like, I think if you're a new DJ and you're listening to this and you plan your set out, I think that's
Right.
totally cool. Like,
Yeah.
you should
Yeah, you should.
absolutely, you should plan your set out. You should practice your transitions, because I think eventually I mean, I feel like I haven't even done anything yet, but so I
Yeah.
shouldn't be handing out advice. But like, you do what you have to do to have a good performance on stage.
Yeah.
Like I used to be in bands. I played bass. I've played drums, and it's performing is like it when you're on the stage. It's not the time to practice things,
Exactly.
and like you should have all your ducks in a row. You should be prepared. Being prepared isn't like a bad thing. Like practicing at home is not a bad thing. Like you should be take pride in what you're trying to do and your performance, and that's how I feel like that's how you stand out. You
And,
know,
and you know
the
what?
clothes you wear. If you're gonna go on stage and be nonchalant and not really care about what you're wearing, like it's like, hey man, like you're your own brand up there, and you're by yourself. And if you don't care about your demeanor, you don't care about your appearance, the audience isn't gonna care about you.
That's true.
Especially if you don't have the music either to back it up. So it's important to be prepared. And I know because
Yeah.
just to wrap it around, because like we're talking about, going up and like not really having a plan because, you can feel the room or
Well,
do something
we've
different.
played
But you
enough.
get,
Me
yeah,
and
you
you
get,
have played and practiced
mhm,
a
yeah.
lot to
I've
get
spent
to
a,
that level of where we can now. I've been doing it because that's the only way I wanted to do it. And when I was taking my DJing to the next level, I had somebody, Ricky Spanish. He's the most critical
yeah,
being on the
yeah.
planet. And if I can't, my goal was to impress him to the point where he would invite me. My first gig, I'm not kidding, was a New Year's Eve party. I swear to God. And he said, "You're ready." And that was that.
Yeah, well, you
Do
got
you know what I'm
the seal
saying?
of approval.
But that's the thing. It's really good to have a seal of approval from your peers, because in this
Mhm.
scene back in the day, you had to be invited into this. You weren't just going to be up here just DJing and throwing a show. You know what I mean? Like, to be a part of the scene, you had to be a part of a community.
Mhm.
At one point, and then get
I think
invited
you
into
still
that
do.
community to really perform and to do stuff. But it was really like that back then. It was very selective, with
I think it's
who.
still like that.
Right? Do you think so
I think it's still selective. I
here? You
mean, but
do?
I think music business has always been like that, though. It's always been relationships. I think it's a little more. Oh, I
Oh,
granted.
I'm talking
I,
about like on the technical level.
oh
Technical
yeah,
level.
because like it wasn't
On a
probably wasn't so.
technical level, because we were
Yeah.
just talking about bad transitions and people need to practice more. The best advice that I got was from Josh Strollis. He said, when I really wanted to take this to the next level with the DJing, he said, get 10 tracks, and he said, play those tracks. Play those 10 tracks over and over and over again till you get so sick of them and you perfect them.
Yeah, it's really actually really good advice.
Seriously. And
Yeah.
it's exactly what I did. It's
Hmm.
exact until I got sick. If I couldn't play back, and it could be, and it sounded flawless, you know what I mean, to the point where I could, really take myself to that next level. That's what I needed to do, and that's what I did.
Hmm. Oh well, it all it sounds like you did all that
I did.
when I hear you.
And it's gotten to the point where, my hair has always been a thing with me, and I like wearing it down for most of my sets.
Hmm.
I just like my hair flowing. I don't want to have to, or tightly up in those space buns. But anything like, but then when I got I like to listen to
Yeah.
in one ear because I want to be able to be free and dance and, whatever I do, just to make me
Mhm.
feel like I'm a part of it, but I'm also just having, I'm partying too. That's just what I'm doing.
You got it. I mean, that's what the DJ is. It's the life of it's the party. I mean, that's what you're bringing, right?
Yes,
You're
that
bringing the
part
party.
that I'm bringing the party, that party
People are looking
energy.
at you and you're like, "Are you gonna
I
dance?"
just dance, just dance. Just dance with me, please. I'm going to move my
Yeah.
body and you're going to do the same.
Sometimes you're the only one dancing, and that's okay.
That's okay. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to bed happy tonight.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're just doing a set for the bartenders, and that's fine. If they're like, man, that was a really good set. Hey, you did your job.
Do you know who Adam Auburn is?
I don't.
Okay, Adam Auburn, look him up. He's a DJ and producer. He's based out in LA. This guy plays a lot of the day trip festivals every year. He's probably
Mhm.
played EDC. He's a pretty big deal out there in the LA area. And year when I lived in Baltimore, I went to college in Baltimore at Towson State, and I got to know Adam Auburn when he played in Baltimore.
Mhm.
And I went into this spot called Red Maple, and they have DJs and stuff like that. At that time, there. I don't know if that place still exists. Probably not, but that's where I caught Adam Auburn there, and I was like the only we were like the only few people in the room. It's like I was in the only person like right on the dance floor with Adam Auburn. And now to go from that one person, now he's playing the
Mhm.
thousands upon thousands of people on a regular basis out there in the LA
Yeah.
west
Yeah.
side
It's
of
it's
town, and it's wonderful to like see.
yeah.
And I'm happy
Everybody
because
has
he was
those nights.
amazing. He's
Yeah.
amazing, and he stuck it out. He got an agent, but he did stick it out, and he, made an awesome career out of it.
Yeah, but it's everybody has those nights. I feel
Mhm.
like you don't get if you haven't had one of those nights where you're not DJing to a lot of people. I feel like that's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's like part of the road, it's part of
Yeah.
the journey. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, you see, but like you had it. There's an example. There's this guy, really great DJ. You're the only person dancing to it, and then a couple years later, he's like you said, playing to thousands of people.
Thousands of people at a
And
festival or at the
yeah,
club, and LA's got some really big nightclubs.
I'm
So
sure. Yeah,
like they got them Radius style nightclubs. Have you been to Radius in Chicago yet?
I have been radius.
What do you think?
Um, it's huge.
It
It's
sure
awesome.
is. It
Uh, I
is.
saw I saw Boris Brecher there.
How was it?
I mean, I love Boris.
He is. He's
I
pretty
he
incredible,
could
isn't
go
he?
on stage. I don't even care. I know he's mixing live, but he could play a pre-recorded. I'd be there. I don't care. I love Boris.
That's
Uh,
awesome. I love
I
him
think
too. I play
he
a lot. I have a lot of his music on my thumb drive.
he he only plays original music, which
Mhm.
I
I
think
love it.
is his
Why wouldn't
output is
you?
incredible.
His he puts out really good music.
Yeah, and it's like if I go to I've seen Boris like 4 or 5 times, and it's just a party. It's
Yeah.
just rave music. I don't know how to describe it. The songs are, he's got 7 8 minute long tracks is what he makes, and it's like you're dancing, you're having a good time, and then he has these big melodic breaks. And then in those big melodic breaks, you end up like you're talking to somebody in the crowd, or you're just like you're vibing. The vibe just kind of shifts, and then he just slowly brings you back into the
Oh,
into the beat into the groove, and it's like I don't know. He's like a puppet master up there, and it's his stage presence is unreal. Um, I think his visuals are always a plus, but that comes with time and you know having the ability to invest in visuals. Visuals are secondary to me. I don't, but to go out there to build a career off of your own original music is pretty remarkable. Um, and I think he's one of the. At least the ones that I know. He's like the only person I know that only plays original music. Now, I think I've heard him play like one or two tracks in like he's got a set that he did in Paris in France that I think he played like one track from somebody else, but it was like off of his label or something.
Hmm.
And but it was still that Boris vibe. But yeah, I Radius, back to your question. Radius was really cool. Got to see him there. And then I wasn't there for too long after that.
Yeah.
But it was the after part. It was the after party for Arc because I had just saw him at Arc. He closed out Arc, and then I went to go see him at the after party. So, and he did play my favorite song of his at the after party. So got there at the exact right time.
So what
So,
do you think about our dear Cleveland scene?
I mean, that's a loaded question.
I got some time.
Um, well, I think we just have the we just have the negative of not having a ton of people here.
Eh,
You know, I think we have very niche avenues, and I think even I do it. I think we clump house music together, and there's so many different branches of house and techno music. And like, if people are throwing parties here or they're throwing shows, it's a lot of work to throw a show. I've
yes,
thrown
it
two
is.
shows, and they were a nightmare of just like everything but the music was important for throwing a show. Sound, making sure there's a table for the DJ's decks and you're not just on a fold out
Mhm.
table. Who's running the visuals? Are there going to be visuals? Did they bring the subwoofers? Do you need
Mhm.
this? Blah,
Oh
blah, all
yeah.
that stuff. It's a lot of work to throw shows. And I think after having done it, um, like I have a different perspective on what it takes to throw a show.
Yes.
So if you're gonna throw a show, you're gonna want a vibe you want for that show, and you're gonna pick DJs that fit that vibe,
Hmm.
and that's how it is, and that's okay. It's not a personal thing. It's not people are out trying to get you. It's just that hey, this is the vibe we want for this show, and these are the people we want to have on it. Now, there's I guess there's something to be said about going to a bunch of different shows and shaking
Yeah.
hands with people and meeting people and doing stuff and there's a lot of truth to that, but I I try and get out to shows as much as I can, but like we talked about this before, being a dad,
Of course.
training for a marathon right now and producing music, that's like, and then being a husband too, like those are my
Yes.
priorities. And if I go out on a Friday night, I'm not making music Saturday morning because I'm sleeping. And like that's when I work on music at like 4 a.m., 4 or 5 a.m. I get up before that's the first thing I do in the morning is work on music because my brain's clear. I don't have I haven't had time to think about any of my responsibilities yet. So that's the time I most feel free. Nobody's up yet. It's just like I feel like the signals are strong that early in the morning for me. And
That's
sometimes I've worked on
awesome.
music late at night, but mostly early in the morning. And um, like I think our scene is good. I don't think it's bad.
Right.
Um, but if you're like I don't know what to say, like, because it's like people have their own idea, and if I'm not a part of that, then that's how it is. And I don't necessarily I wouldn't say that our scene does a good job of uplifting artists. I can say, now here's some tea. All right, you want some tea? I'll give you some tea. All
Then
right.
you can share
If
why. Yeah,
if
go
you
ahead.
and I if you and I said we were from Detroit, we would get booked a lot here. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I have no hard feelings for Detroit, but just because you're from a city doesn't mean that you're any good. And that's it. I feel like that is like just because you're from somewhere doesn't mean that you
I get
automatically get a leg up over people. And I guess it does. But like, girl, you know what I'm saying? Like
I do know what you're saying. And I think that I think what it is you've got other artists running being are promoters on these shows. So they get to network outside of their city in order to maybe into build into and
Mhm.
get into that market. I
Yeah.
see why they do what they do because there is some leverage there, especially if you don't want to just be in Cleveland, especially as an
Yeah.
artist who wants to move, kind of go to other areas and
Exactly. You got to
explore.
go out and do it yourself. And it's not like if you're just sitting around waiting for people to contact you, that's not going to
Right,
happen. You got to go out
right.
and do it.
Either that
Um,
or even just ask. It's just like I've
yeah.
gotten to that point, in my even in my own for the most part, I've been blessed that people ask me to do these shows.
Oh, yeah.
But
It's
I
always,
also know that there are times where I also have not a problem to ask,
mhm.
somebody if I, about doing something and, or
Yeah.
collaborating on something.
Yeah. And, like I said in the beginning, like if you're throwing a show, you're putting in the work, you're going to want to do what's best for that show or what you think is best for that show. And
Yeah.
that's totally fine. That's
Yeah.
totally cool. Like, if I wanted to throw a show, I'm going to do what I think is best for that show.
Yeah, it's just
And that's just how it is. You're putting the time, you're putting the energy into it. And it's almost like it needs to be a little more of a collaborative thing between the promoters and the artists.
yeah.
And I guess I wouldn't say I don't know. It's like I said, it's just like it's all personal like feeling. Like there's so many different avenues of house music that it's like just because I don't know. Like there's different avenues for house music, and there seems to be a place for each one of those avenues. Um, so I don't know. I think I wouldn't say our scene is better or worse than any other scene in the country. I think
Right.
every local
I
scene is
think
probably the
they probably
same.
have their own dramas. Trust
It's the
me,
same
they
everywhere.
do.
As somebody told me that once, like every
They
local
do.
scene is the same. So if you think moving to a different scene is gonna
Yeah.
do better for you have about
Right.
5 months to make an impact, and then
Right.
after that, you're just in the local scene again.
Yeah.
So and with the internet, man, like it doesn't necessarily matter where you are. If you're interested in making music, which is different from DJing, it doesn't matter where you are
Right.
because your music can get out to different people, can get out to different labels. I mean, look at you. You're here based in Cleveland, and then you have a track released. You had one in the UK, and now you have one in France,
Yes.
right?
Okay,
So like,
my first track actually, my first, what is this? This is going to be my fourth track coming up.
mhm.
I've released three tracks, and those tracks were on Import Tracks, which is based out of New York City.
Oh, New York. Okay,
New York
sorry.
City. And then, but the producers running it now are actually, they live in Europe now too.
Yeah.
Seven Fisher, look him up. I play a lot of his stuff. He's amazing. He's
Hmm.
based out in New York City and he lives in Switzerland now.
That's cool.
I mean,
But
like,
yeah, but that's my point. Like,
yeah,
if you're making music, you can your music will get heard. I mean,
it is. And
my biggest track is that Erica Badu remix on SoundCloud. It's
I
my biggest
know,
track. It's the
but
most.
that's
It's got
such
the
a,
most. It's
it's
got
you
the.
so well done. That's my track, everybody. I'm just letting you know. Cardio made that for me. I know I played it more than anybody because it's at my show most every time. Like I want to be known for that track. As the
It's a
DJ.
bop. It's a bop. I
Like
you know
it feeds my spirit. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
it's Erica, and then you killed that remix. It's just you just did. It
Yeah.
was just like, oh, okay, you really put your neck in this one.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was like, yes, yeah. I play that almost all the time. Any chance I get, I play that track. Hell, I'll probably figure out a way to mix that track into some sort of a techno something. I'm taking it. But oh
Yeah.
no, like you know what I mean when
Yeah.
I break out.
Well, I've
But
always
here
been a
she
fan
goes
of
now.
Erykah Badu.
Oh, I love
I'm a
her.
bass player by heart, and that song specifically.
So is
Um,
Spanish, by the way. He's a bass player.
oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that song specifically stuck out to me when I first heard it, a long time ago, and it just came up on my Spotify one day, and I'm like, man, you know what? Like this might make a dope house track. I should try, and then the rest is history, I guess. So appreciate that. But yeah, I mean that's my goal. Like I'm interested in challenging myself and
Yes.
making new music, and it's really like, and you can complain about scenes or talk about them as much as you want, but it's really like the only thing that I can control is opening up my laptop and making music. I have total control over this space here. This is my space, and I have 100% control over the music that I make. I don't have control over whether or not people accept me, and I think that goes for every artist. Like you don't have control over. You can go out and you can make things. You can try and make things happen, and that's important. I mean, that's any business. I think we often think the music business is supposed to be this like utopian thing, and it's not. It's just like business in the corporate world. It's the people the relationships you make, and the value that you offer for your product or you.
Right.
And it's just like that. It's not. Um, I think at a very entry level, like if you just had some friends together, it is that. But then once you start getting up into like nightclubs or like I said, bookings for nightclubs or larger events, it's a business at the end of the day, and you just need to be prepared for that. And you don't have control over outside things. So what do you have control over is, I mean, for me, it's the music. It's the music, my family. This is my, like, it doesn't matter what happens out there. What happens in here, if I impress myself in here on my laptop, if I make a track and I like bounce it out and I'm listening to it on SoundCloud and it's private and I'm like, this is awesome. I can't wait to play this out. Or that feeling that I get when I make a track. Like um that's the validation, that the internal validation means more than external, and external really does feel good. Like it feels good when someone says, hey, that was awesome or that was great, but it's fleeting.
It
And
truly is.
the more I do this, I think the more I do it, the more I understand how fleeting that is, and like the real and I struggle with it. I mean, it's tough. It's a lonely road. We talked about this. It's lonely being an
You
artist.
don't realize it until you're really in it. And then
Mm-hmm.
all these moving parts to being an artist. You don't really totally get the lonely part until you're really in it and deep in it.
Mm-hmm. Because a part of making art is sharing it.
Of
and
course it
having and
is.
having the opportunity to share it is like,
Right.
if I'm here making tracks and I never get to see the light of day, or I never even get to play them on a dance floor because I never have the opportunity to share it, it's crushing, you know
It's
um because it's like, I think we'd be fooling ourselves if we said that, oh, you just make art and not share it, because sharing it is part of the process,
of course.
you know
I'm happy to have gotten to a point where I prepared myself, for this,
mm-hmm.
for whatever is going to be. And as an artist, I just love to be able to express myself and I'm really proud of the records that I released last year.
You should be.
and they did very well. I'm so great. And that was on some real stuff. Like I didn't go calling everybody to buy my record. I wanted the people who are meant to buy my record,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
because that's the feeling that I wanted. I wanted to know that my music, whoever's playing it, it means something to them just because, and because that is my art. That's what
Hmm.
I'm putting out into the world. So, you know, the people who are meant that my songs are meant to be is going to be. And I get that we all get busy and we share links and this, that, and the other. But I also started to understand that I have people that are so busy that they really want me to reach out to them personally and say, hey, do you have plans on this date, this day? Come on out and blah, blah, blah. For our friends or people that are in our inner circles,
Hmm.
I think, some of them have expressed, I think they would want to be personally invited instead of just getting a Facebook invite,
Oh
you
yeah, the
know?
Facebook invite is kind of lame.
Yeah, well, a
I
lot of people are
it's
still
it's
communicating on there.
it's had its time. I
You
feel
said
like
it a times time.
the Facebook event had its time. Um, I don't necessarily feel like that's a good indicator of anything really. The Facebook event invite, like it's just. I mean, you do it because you should create a Facebook event for people to go to see data or see like what's there. But as a marker for like, hey, these are the people that are coming. No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
never. No, no, no. No, you're right. Matter of fact, it's always, I've been doing my Dirty Disco event like once a month and stuff. It's not any, it's something that I'm building in Akron, but I'm starting to be reaching out to my friends, just, like yourself, like to come out and hang out and, you know what I mean? Maybe spend for an hour and hang out and just show
Mhm.
yourself, out in this market. Because I'd like to build it up more and become
Mhm.
like a thing of Akron and be able to
Yeah.
get my friends to come out and play, more and,
Yeah.
support that event, because I really, it could. I just want to boost it so I can party more too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of time in the evening for DJ sets.
Yeah,
Like,
I did so good at being
you
a
know,
mom. But I did so good at being a mom that I feel like, it's like I'm getting like a second wind in my life
mhm. Yeah.
to
So
just
let me ask you, how do you feel about the Cleveland scene? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's not an easy question.
It's
All
not.
right.
No, because it is. Because you know what? Okay, I will just say this. I have invested, how much time do we have? Okay, 10 minutes. Um, I have I have a love and I don't like the word hate. I've had some resentments over the years built up,
Mhm.
you know, but those were all just personal type stuff.
Yeah. Resentment is like it's a personal thing. It's only something you feel.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I feel like, talent that has been like overlooked, that should have, had an opportunity or for whatever reason never happened, they kind of get overshadowed by, you know, other people that, like we said, should be, you know, um, practicing more. and
Well, I
hold on there,
a
and
rising.
I'm just being, and then I'm not saying that as a dig. I'm saying that because too many times people aren't being honest with you. Like I said, when I came out, when I was ready, who brought
Mhm,
me in? Spanish. And we all know what a big critic he is.
mhm.
Sometimes you need certain people to tell you where you're, that you trust and that will not lie to you if you're cool. And as a promoter, if you're booking quality talent and quality people, that's your name
Hmm.
too. You want to know, you want to be known as a promoter that you bring all the good shit. Like there's no doubt about it. Like when people come see Lolo Knows, they know they're going to get a great set.
Yeah.
They're going to, if I'm DJing the whole night, like I usually do on my once a month monthly, Dirty Disco, every
Hmm.
fourth Friday
Yeah.
of the month
Right on.
at
So we
Baxter
got, well, you
Speakeasy.
said we got about 6 minutes left.
Yes.
What's new on the horizon for you?
What's new for the horizon for me? Well, I have a record coming out in May, and it's called Higher Place.
Okay.
And
Nice.
I'm really excited about it. It's a real funky, disco-y, you know,
Yeah, I
feel
heard
good
the clip
record.
on
Yeah.
the internet
Well,
there.
you haven't, that was just a little clip. There's so
I
much
know,
more. It kind
but
of
it's
gives me a
I
little
was
bit of a,
grooving. It's just a
I
little
know, just,
it's
and it's
just
got these little, there's like this, it feels like Prince to me a little bit. And I'm not, I'm not comparing, there's like some, I'm not comparing
influence.
myself to the king. He's just influence. He's so
Mm.
influential in my sound. It's
Yeah.
the guitar, it's the riff. You'll hear it when you hear it, you'll know. You
Okay.
will know.
I will know
You're an
for
amazing
sure.
musician. I want to know more about prayer. That's coming. Well, my record's coming out May 9th. This is going to be on
Hmm.
a 2 week um, promo on Track Source.
Hmm.
And this is being released on Ritual Beats, which is based out in
Nice.
France. They're slated to be the next Defected. Like they already got a roster of people that are on the label right now.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about the direction of this label. It's their slogan is house music with an attitude. Is that not me or what?
I don't think you could have found a better label for
I
yourself.
mean, seriously, like what?
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna put
awesome.
that on I'm putting that has to go on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's
So
sweet.
yes, that describes me with to a T. House music with an attitude. Like
Hmm.
really. And this record is that too. I want to hear about prayer. And I
Hmm.
also want to hear about like you said you had your album release, or is that coming up?
No, so I finished my album and then I didn't release it. I actually decided to this year after a chat with a really close friend. I decided that I was going to try and send stuff out to labels
Yes.
to try and get singles signed because I've already released two albums. So I was like, I've done this before. I know how to release it. I can make the artwork or whatever, and I can do all that. I know I can. What I haven't done yet is try and get onto bigger labels. So a prayer came out last October. Was it October? No, it was December. It was December 5th, I think, of last year on Insomniac Rex. And so the I was kind of done with the album at the end of January. And I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna release it, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm not. I'm just the vibes aren't there. And like I said, I had a chat with a great friend and who kind of convinced me to try and
I
branch out a
think
little
you
bit more.
did good because you said,
I got two tracks signed, two different labels. Um, one's a like Afro house tech track, more melodic, and then the other one is a techno track. So two different genres, two
ooh.
different labels. The label is based in Ibiza, which is cool, and they've had support from label support from like Carl Cox, and Adam Bear, and Black Coffee for the Afro House one. And so the Afro House track, I'm not gonna say its name yet, but I think that's supposed to come out in May. I don't have a date for the techno track yet, but I'm not really concerned about it. It'll happen when it happens.
Oh my God, that is
So
so awesome. So me and you are really doing it
yeah, I
here
mean, as much
on the
as
house side of things.
yeah, I
Pretty
having
incredible. I like you realize like I'm the first woman of like that's doing this here.
yeah for house music, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's or
that's
getting at least
wild.
getting tracks signed to labels bigger
Yeah.
labels is pretty awesome. You know, not just some label that's not really doing anything. There's, I mean,
Right.
and that's the thing. There's a lot of labels out there that are just labels not really doing much,
Right.
or they're not like. There's a lot of labels, you know, you can pay to be on, you know, and
Oh
it's
my
like,
gosh. There are
so
people
it's
doing that.
yeah. I mean, I sent my music out to this label in Brazil, and because I saw a prayer was popping off a little bit in Brazil. I had some plays down there, so I was like, let me see if I can send some of my music down there. And I got an email back, and it was basically an AI bot. I could tell right off the bat, an AI chat bot, and it was like they had packages you can buy, like
Oh
$50. You release
no.
like
What?
the free you get a release on the label, but it's part of like a compilation album. It was like a $99 one. It went all the way up to $400.
Oh my
And the
God.
$400 package was like you get a post on their page, and then you get playlisted on Spotify, which to me just means bot plays. And I was like, this is, and I feel like any like label worth its merit is gonna just want to sign your track. And not to mention, like, you want me to pay you $400 to release this track, and then you're also gonna take 50% of the
Your
profit.
record. Your
And it's
record.
like, yo,
Wow.
like, hey, if I pay you $400, I want 100% of what the track makes, you know, but I'm not going to pay you $400 to release a track. Like, that's ridiculous. I'll just release it myself.
Here's the thing. There are so many quality labels, like especially I love the fact that the labels that I'm released on are, labels or people who are already like really made a name for themselves in the industry.
Yeah, or they're just
Decided by their
artists.
own, yeah, other artists, true artists that made it in the game,
Hmm.
and have been in this industry for a long time and, and take their brand seriously. And I love that. And
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to be a part of. And I'm so glad that I'm a part of that and now you're a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. Uh,
Oh my God. You
I'm
gotta,
working so hard. Granted, but then here's the flip side of that. I wrote a whole album and two
just,
tracks got signed.
that's okay.
The rest of them are kind of floating around in the ether right now, and it's like it
Here's,
just like kind of goes to show you that like um how much you actually have to do in order to like get somewhere that you think is, I don't know what
yeah.
I'm trying to say. Like there's a lot of, I mean, I can't tell you how many tracks I've thrown out, tracks I don't play anymore. Um, you don't just get the Erica Badu remix without all of the crap that I made beforehand. Um,
Hmm.
so that stuff kind of, you know, and circling all the way back to like being a dad, like the time factor is like a non thing for me. Like the time it takes me to be where I am now to like maybe where I want to get to,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter because the process is still the same. I'm still going to get up early. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to make music. You know, if I get a no, I got so many no's at the beginning of this year. It is unbelievable. I had never been
Okay.
told no so many
What?
times.
That's,
And like
oh,
getting rejected from labels
I know.
or like, no, sorry, just no's. So many no's. And to get a yes, like, hey, we want to sign your track. It's
Yeah.
like this feels right, and I
It's
don't know.
humbling. And
It
you'll
is
remember
it's
that too. You'll
it is
remember
really
that.
humbling hearing all the no's, but it also like it's kind of you get used to it and you're like,
Yeah.
whatever, just, screw it. Like what
Like
the
you're
worst
I
anything.
handle it, your loss. Your loss.
Yeah,
You
the
know
worst.
what? I got a couple notes on what's that feeling and what happened to that track. It went up, it shot up to number one on the tech house chart on track
Yeah,
chart. You see what
exactly.
I'm
And
saying?
people
Like
people
you
turned
missed
it
out.
down. Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, you're not, we don't think you're a right fit for this show, or they just don't get back to you. Or like, it's like, all right, man, well, guess what? The people who've booked me, now they get to hopefully reap in some rewards of like, hey, I got some tracks internationally signed. I'm probably gonna have a track coming out before the summer. So I have a summer gig that hasn't been announced yet that I'm gonna be playing, and like, that show's gonna hopefully benefit from that.
Yeah.
And and good to them for believing in me before I made any sort of announcement. you know? So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I just trying to take it as it goes. I think the places that want me or the places that, want to see me perform or it's going to happen that way. Like there's so many spots, there's so many things to do. Um, so if I'm not playing a show, that's great because that just means I'm going to be making music. And if I'm making music, then it means the next show I play it, I'm going to have something different,
Yeah, you will.
So it's like, either way, I'm winning.
Hey, do you remember, on I wanted to come back to your Discovery Project mix.
Yeah.
The way you described Boris, you had this awesome intro in your set. I can
Mm,
hear some likeness in regards to your inspiration from
mm,
his music that's translated
yeah.
into your journey in that mix.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you heard that.
I did.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
brought me
I'm a
back to
little
that.
more free than Boris though. Boris sticks to 100.
Yes, of course.
Boris,
No,
Boris
yeah,
sticks to
absolutely.
125
I
BPM like a religion. And it's great. It's great, but I can't I like my sets grow. I start
yeah.
slow and then I build up to a totally different place. That's what I like to do. So I mean, hence the name cardio. It's the sets get, you
You're
know,
like you're really doing a lot of heartfelt exercise during your sets.
yeah, it's a build.
Oh, and I feel like also some of the loving energy. I know that comes from your romantic side of being
Hmm.
in a loving relationship with your
Yeah.
wife, and I pick up a lot of that in in your music too, your music
Yeah.
selection as well.
No, thank you. Yeah, I mean that's what it's about. I mean, everybody's equal on the dance floor.
Hmm.
So like that music is a higher purpose. It's when I'm playing music or when I'm writing music, I'm doing something bigger than myself. And I think those so it's like the best version of myself comes out through music. So like the way I like to communicate that through it. So, I think every human has flaws. We all have insecurities. We all have things that we're bad at or things we could get better at. But, when I'm performing or when I'm writing, it's like I can be the best version of myself. And then that goes throughout the rest of my life with being a dad, being a husband. Music really lets me see the best version of myself, so that way I can go out and do my best to be that. And I still fall short all the time. So I'm glad that you hear that in the music because I'm making it's not an effort. It's just a feeling like I feel like this would go real right here, or like this
Hmm.
track should go, or these words hook
Yeah.
good, or like this, or this music makes me feel a certain kind of way, and I want that to happen because we everybody experiences so many different emotions. So I don't like to box my mixes in to one specific genre because it's like
Yeah.
you can feel different things throughout the set, you know.
Exactly. That's why when I started and really got back into this, I didn't want to be boxed in. So, and I went from like progressive to house to spiritual house to,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of Latin and
And
Afro and,
there's a
and it's just like,
strong there's a strong pull to box yourself, to label yourself as like, oh, I'm this, oh, I do this, or I only do acid house, or I only do minimal tech, or I only do like, I don't know, something techno, dark techno, or I only do hypnotic techno. And it's like, why box yourself in? Why
mhm.
not do something different and incorporate that in a way that nobody else has thought of,
I
you
always
know?
felt like if I just say I'm house, then that just encompasses
Yeah. Yeah, people want
all
to
the,
know. I I
that's it,
usually I
you
usually just say
know?
progressive house because it's like I'm progressive house and
You
it's like,
are.
okay, what maybe, to some
No,
people.
yeah, to
I've
some
had someone
people,
and
but
tell me I've
yeah,
had someone describe progressive house to me and I was like, that is so way off. of what progressive house is. And I think there's progressive house artists that would be like, I'm not progressive house. Like they would say I'm not. Like I don't know. I like
They're saying right now certain trans music is techno, where it's
it
like
doesn't matter.
progressive. To me, it's like a progressive
You know,
trance.
you know who labels
It's
only
just like
matter
it don't
for
matter.
marketing. Labels only matter for marketing. For
It
artists,
does.
they're a prison.
It is
So
because
it's like, I'm just gonna do what feels good to me. If people want to say I make tech house, I make tech house. I make progressive melodic tech house.
just say you
Sure.
make
There you go.
house, just
Or
house.
house. I make
Just
house.
house, all kinds of
Yeah.
house. That's it. I
Most
make
people it's
all kinds.
house.
I just tell them I make all kinds of house and just a little bit of techno. That's
All
it.
kinds of house. That's a sample.
All
If I
kinds
ever
of
heard
house.
that's a sample
All
to
right.
for a track. It's
All
a new
right.
track.
Well,
All
write
kinds
it
of house.
down and I'll write it down so I can speak it into and then put it in your track.
Yeah, listen,
I'm gonna send you a
you
bunch of spoken
say,
word. You can start
yeah,
putting
you
that shit
should.
in your
All
stuff.
kinds of house, just put different ways. I'll take that. Be the next Erica Badu remix. Okay.
Okay. Bet.
I promise. I
Bet.
promise. And you better
Okay.
bring attitude. I better hear attitude.
Oh my God. Please let me put all my attitude up in these. Yes, I need it. I
Yeah,
want to.
that
You
sounds
want to produce
awesome.
the music? I'll put in all the attitude you want. Deal.
Cool.
Deal. We can collaborate
Deal.
on that all day. I can't do it on my own. It's nice to have somebody else because I don't like when you're used to hearing yourself and you're not in that realm all the time, but having somebody actually say, it's nice to have that.
Yeah, the
Somebody
producer.
driving
Yeah.
that inspiration. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
We'll make it
for
happen.
sure. Yeah.
Did you write that down? Because I already forgot.
Oh, I'll
All
remember it. All
kinds of
kinds of
house.
house.
All kinds of house.
What kind of house you like? All
All
kinds of
kinds of
house.
house.
I'm telling you, that's a banger.
We're
That's a
gonna do
banger. I
that.
haven't even.
We're gonna do that.
What kind of house music you like? All kinds of house.
Oh my God. Okay, so cardio. Um, I want you to tell everybody where they can find you on your socials.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on Instagram at _cardio music. That's the best place to
get you.
follow along. I don't really do a lot on Facebook. I think on Facebook I'm Real Cardio Music. SoundCloud I'm Real Cardio Music, but if you go to my Instagram, the link there will take you to
You
all
have
my
a link
music.
tree. You have a link tree.
Yeah,
Your all your
Spotify,
links.
SoundCloud,
All right, perfect.
Beatport, I'm there. But yeah, like I said, my most recent release of Prayer is out now. And then I got new tracks coming out this summer. So
Exciting times, my friend. Exciting times. I'm so
yeah, it's
happy.
fun.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks. Proud of you too.
And I'm so happy. Thank you. Means a lot because
Yeah.
because
Thanks for having me. I
we
appreciate
both.
the opportunity to talk a little
Oh my
bit.
gosh. Yes.
I'll
Anytime. You
probably
can
listen to
come.
this and be like, "Oh, what did you say? Why did you say that?" But
Stop it. No, we
that's
had a
just
great
how we
conversation.
think. So
No, we had a great conversation. I'm really happy that you were open to doing this and because on this show I want it to be real conversation and about not just about everything that we love to do, which is a part of it, but even just the humanization of who we are as well and in this community.
yeah, I
Because too
think
many
yeah.
times I feel like the business overshadows what we really truly we built, which is the heart of
And
the
I
community and
at the
why we
local
love
level,
this.
it should be
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're
Yeah.
throwing shows at little bars.
Yeah.
Like, we're not, this isn't Radius.
Yeah.
These are not EDC Las Vegas. These are not big events. These are local events, and they should be places for local people to experience local music
Yeah.
and outside music, of course. Like,
Of course.
it's part of it, but like, we could do better.
I absolutely. And it's nice to see it though grow to this point and where we're continuing to grow. And the fact that
Yeah, we can't lose another house artist to bass music.
oh God. I'm lost on that one. I'm lost
What?
on that one.
Oh yeah. So like I've seen over the last few years, I've seen some house artists come out. They'll be house and then they'll move into techno and then they move into bass music and then they never come back. Just
Okay. Okay. Do you think that did they have an identity crisis? Do you think their just energy is more connected there? Or
I
do you
just think
think,
there's more opportunities with bass music.
yeah,
I just think there's more opportunities and the hype train is crazy with bass music.
is it?
So it's like there's just it's just weird. I never understood bass music. I just can't I mean I understand it and I respect it, the like the sound design aspect of it. But man, I have too much turmoil and anxiety up here.
Yes.
That music gives me anxiety and I'm like, I want to chill. I need house music. Like I need that, maybe I'm just old or what, but like I just man, I want to feel good on the dance floor. I want to
There
dance.
are some of my
I
friends
can't
though that
I
are,
can't do that.
yeah,
I get a headache
it's a
immediately.
lot. It's a lot. But it makes you
Yeah.
think about even some of the sweetest people, like energetic, sweet people and stuff, and they love that stuff. I think it's an energetic, emotional outlet for them. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You know,
Yeah. No,
I
it's
think
like
there's
metal
something.
music.
Yeah, like metal music. You know how it's like,
Hmm.
"Duh," and you're just like, yeah, it's like, yeah, and they're getting it out. They're just getting it out of their system.
And I
That's
love
how
metal
I see
music.
it. Oh
I
man.
love
Oh
metal.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
I like metal,
Me too.
but I don't like bass music.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a big fan. I like drum and bass though. I can dance my ass off to drum and bass.
Yeah, I mean I like drum and bass.
I could do that.
I'm more particular about drum and bass.
Yeah.
I like liquid drum and bass
Oh
because I
yeah.
like jazzy chords and I like that and rather than the womp 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 drum and bass. I like the softer,
Yeah.
subtler drum and bass. And yeah, I mean it's all music and I respect it all.
I know.
But like I said, when they go to bass music, I just think there's more opportunities to get on shows, the after parties and stuff like that. It just
Yeah.
you can really do stuff like that. But it's a different ball game.
It sure
If
is.
you're just DJing, it's a different ball game than what I'm doing. Like I'm not interested in just being just a DJ. I want to write music and I want people to dance into my music, and they have so far. So I'm excited. That's fun. There's nothing like playing your own track and
Yep.
people are vibing to it.
Yep.
It's like it's this ultimate like communicating with the crowd. It's like
Yeah.
wow, they're feeling me. Like
It
so
is.
you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I do. I really do. Because you know what? Whether it's one, 10, hundreds, or thousands of people, if you can get those people to dance, you already got a party.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful feeling just to watch people just let go, even without they're just all of the stimulation around them. They
Mhm.
just got the music in themselves in their body.
Have you had someone Shazam your song before in the crowd?
Shazam my song? What do you mean?
Yeah, so like I played this show. It was the CLE Underground Thursday night with Tyler, who's always been a gem to me. And I played my track "Move," which is on my second album,
Hmm.
and this girl in the crowd I saw her shazamming it, and then she looked at it and she looked at me like, "This is this is you," and I was like, "Yeah, it is."
Oh, yeah, you know what?
I was
Yes.
like, I was like that. I'll never forget that. Like someone shazammed a song in my just the only song she shazammed, and it was my track, and I was like, it was I was all warm and fuzzy. Um, but
I
that yeah
Okay. Mine was at Crowbar.
yeah
Crowbar. I had some people who came in for that for my DJ set, and they were all about what's that feeling, and
hmm
they couldn't wait to hear it
yeah
play live, and that felt really good. And they were just like, and they, you know, and they were really like, they were really in tune and connected when and they didn't know I was who I was until I said Lolo. And they were like, Lolo knows. And then they pulled up.
That's awesome.
That was nice. Yeah, that was cool. So
Yeah.
you never know who's hearing your music from anywhere. You never know what impact you're making. It's unbelievable. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. And
there's
it's the
there's all these little rewards, these rewards that keep coming, you know, and that's where you
yeah.
just have to feel good about what you're doing.
Like
I
you
always
said, those are like little notifications that you're doing the right thing.
Yes. Yes, like you walking into that party and you know,
Mhm.
and us meeting, and then I got to do the first operational room you know, album release party. That was a great party. I had fun that night.
I throw great parties.
Yes, you do. So you should really commend yourself on that. I consider myself a really good party girl.
Parties,
Yes,
parties
still
are
the
a vibe.
best, still doing it.
Yeah, I mean, parties are a vibe, and it starts in the top down.
Yes.
That's how the vibe starts. So, you know, it's either inclusive or exclusive.
Yes, exactly.
You know.
All right. It's time for me to wrap up this show. It was
Okay.
awesome talking to you. And just hold, please. Okay, for everybody, please hit that notification button. Follow this show if you haven't already. Thank you for tuning in to In the Know with Lola Knows. Uh, and subscribe to the channel, lolaknows.com, and put in your email to get the monthly newsletter. Thank you so much. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy.